Hello, my little mathematicians. We're going to continue working on one of our midterm study guides, study guide number 2. I'm going to do numbers 11 through 20. So let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 says, Wyatt correctly answered 70 out of 100 questions on a test. At the top of Wyatt's paper, the teacher wrote 70 out of 100 because he got 70 right out of 100 total questions. Okay, what equivalent decimal could the teacher write next to the fraction? Remember, any point throughout this, if you want to try these on your own, I highly recommend that. So pause the video, try it, and then unpause it and check yourself. Okay, 70/100ths is the same thing as 0.70, which is the same thing as 0.7, because you could have reduced this fraction and gotten 7/10, and 7/10 is 0.7. So either of those are correct. And then if I look, that choice was right here. Now 0.7 is different than 0.07 because this is 7/100ths, not 70/100ths. Okay, so C was the correct answer. Number 12 says there are 20 students in Mrs. Smith's math class. Of these students, 9 have brown hair, 5 have black hair, 4 have blonde hair, and 2 have red hair. What percentage of students, so I want to know out of 100, right? That's percent. What percentage of students in Mrs. Smith's class have brown hair? Okay, so I don't care about red hair, I don't care about blonde hair, and I don't care about black hair. I only care about these brown-haired people. Okay, well, in order to find the percent, okay, so what out of 100 is equal to, I'm going to think of this as part to whole. Okay, so the whole class, what part of the whole class has brown hair? Okay, and then that would be your percent. So the part that has brown hair is 9. Out of the whole class, there's 20 total people in the class. And then I'm going to set that equal to what out of 100. Okay. There's 2 ways you could do this. You didn't have to set up a proportion. You could have done 9 divided by 20 in your calculator. You'd get a decimal, move it 2 places, and that would tell you the percent. But I always don't like solving, having to move decimal places. So I'm just going to solve the proportion. So I have 20 times x equals 9 is diagonally across from 100, so 9 times 100. Okay, 20x equals 900. Now again, if you just did 9 out of 20 equals what percent, you would type into your calculator 9 divided by 20 if this was a calculator section. And then you would get a decimal, and then you would move that decimal 2 places to the right, and that would tell you the percent. But if this is a non-calculator section, I don't like doing that way with long division, so I prefer this way. But either way, as long as you get to the final answer, that's fine. And again, the reason I like this way is because I don't have to worry about moving the decimal. Whatever number I get up here, that is the percent, right? Any number over 100 is a percent. Okay, so when I get to here, I'm going to divide by the number in front of x, because 20 divided by 20 is 1, so now you have 1x. I solve for x, and whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Those zeros cancel, and now you have 90 over 2, which is 45. So again, this is why I like doing proportions. It's just usually easier than long division. And again, I don't have to worry about moving the decimal because this x is right here, and any number over 100 is the percent. So it's 45%. C again. Okay, for my next one, it says, find the greatest common factor of 64 and 48. So think to yourself, what can go into both of those numbers? Okay, well, if you did 2 or 4, that is correct. You just might have a longer ladder than me. Keep working it out. Make sure we get the same answer. You keep going until you have nothing in common. But I'm going to start with 8. 8 times what is 64? 8. And 8 times what is 48? 6. I can keep going because 2 can go into both of those. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and 2 goes into 6 3 times. Double check. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 4 and 3 have nothing else in common. If it was the LCM, I'd multiply all of these along the outside, but it's just the GCF. So I'm going to do 8 times 2, which is 16. Okay, number 14 says when making a batch of cookies, the recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar and 3 cups of flour. What is the ratio of sugar to flour? Okay, this is important. When they say ratio of blank to blank, whatever comes first goes on top. Whatever comes after the word 2, they want on the bottom. So what was the number in the problem representing sugar? 2. What was the number representing flour? 3. Can I reduce it? No. So 2 to 3 is the correct answer. Okay, this one has flour to sugar, which is not in the correct order. So always make sure, that's why I like to write the words in front. So I make sure that the numbers are in the right order. Which number line below shows 2 1/5? Well, first of all, I need to know what 1/5 is equal to. So there's 2 ways I can do that. I could either make the denominator become a power of 10, which I can, because 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 times 2 is 2. So you have 2 tenths, which means it's 0.2 representing the 1/5, and that whole number in front was a 2. So it should be 2.2, not there, 2.2, not there, and 2.2. Yep, see it is. If you didn't want to do it that way, you also could have found out what 1/5 equals by taking the top and dividing it by the bottom. 5 can't go into 1, so you add a decimal and a 0. 5 goes into 10 twice. There you go. You also would have found out that 1/5 is equal to 0.2, and the whole number 2 stays the same. Okay, my next one. Express 1/4 as a percent. Several ways that I can do this. Okay, one way, any number over 100 is a percent. So can I get this denominator to become 100? I sure can, if I multiply by 25. So 1 times 25 is 25. 25 over 100 is 25%. Now that's great if the denominator can become 100. But if you want to know what percent this is a good skill to know, because a lot of times you want to know, what score did I get on my test? What's my percent? Well, take how many you got right and divide it by how many total questions there were. So once you do that, if you take 1 divided by 4, 4 can't go into 1, so add a decimal and a 0. 4 goes into 10 twice. 4 times 2 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down a 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So now you have 1/4 is equal to 0.25. If you remember dip, because this is a decimal, right? I want to go from a decimal to a percent. So I'm going to move it 2 to the right. So 1, 2 places to the right. 0.25 is the same thing as 25%, because that's 25 hundredths, right? Which is 25%. Okay, so either way you got to 25%, you're good. The next one says, which number has the greatest absolute value? Well, the absolute value of 0 is 0. Absolute value of -10 is 10. Absolute value of 15 is 15. And the absolute value of -25 is 25. So which number is the greatest value? D, 25. Okay, for my next one. Which integer is 4th when listed from least to greatest? Okay, so I like to sometimes draw a little basic number line. So you have -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3. So that just reminds me, okay, the bigger the negative number, the smaller in value it actually is, right? So the biggest negative I see is -16. Then -11. Then -2. Then I see 0. And then 1. And then 4. 8. 12. and 15. And let's just double check that I have all the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. Okay, good. I have them all. Yep, they're in order from small to big, least to greatest. So the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 0. Okay, for my next one, the number of gallons of gas purchased by 4 motorists and the corresponding costs are plotted on the coordinate plane below. Which of these correctly shows the ratios of the different number of gallons of gas to their costs? Okay, well, this number is 1, what's between 2 and 4? 3. So 1, 3. This one is 2, 6. And this one is 3, between 8 and 10 is 9. So 3, 9. Okay, and when I did this, gallons was representing these first numbers, and those second set of numbers was the cost. Okay, so 1 gallon costs $3. 1 gallon costs $3. I don't necessarily know. Let's see, because maybe if I connect this line, those might still be on there. So let's see. 3 gallons cost $3. 3 gallons cost 3. Definitely not. Okay. 3 gallons cost 1. Ooh, this was the trap answer, huh? Because it's 1 gallon cost $3. Okay. 1 gallon cost $3. Let's double check. It keeps going. 2 is 6. 3 is 9. If I kept going, would this still be on the line? 4, 12. I think that's the right answer. Let's just double check this one to be safe. 1 gallon costs $1. Nope. C it is. Okay, and our final one. What is the least common multiple, or LCM, of 12 and 9? Well, what can go into both of those? 3 can. 3 times what is 12? 4. And 3 times what is 9? 3. Does 4 and 3 have anything else in common? No. So then go ahead and multiply all the numbers along the outside that form the L. Remember, GCF is just the ones along here. LCM is all of them that form the L. So 3 times 4 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. If you got all those right, you're on a very good pathway to doing well in your midterm. If not, please go back and try to find similar problems to the ones that you missed. Good luck, my little mathematicians.